Hello, Craig Hornblow here again. I'd like to talk to you about improving ATS effectiveness for thinning. We need to be objective about how we establish our thinning approach for ATS so we can review it, improve our strategies in following years. So there's 3 areas I want to talk about today for thinning. 1, choosing the appropriate water volume. 2, monitoring when we should start our applications. And 3, monitoring when we should apply ATS again. Firstly, water volume. To choose a water volume for ATS, we need to think about it being a dilute spray. Each canopy is different in terms of height, width, density of canopy, but we need to make sure it's a dilute water volume we're using with ATS. So that means we need to be thinking of a water volume 100 litres per 1,000 cubic metres of canopy. This large canopy here, 5 metres by 4.5 metre height, dense canopy, it's about 23,000 cubic metres of canopy. So I'll need to be sprayed at a dilute rate of about 2,300 litres per hectare. The small canopy on the right here, about 15,000 cubic metres of canopy, will need to be sprayed at about 1,500 litres per hectare for a dilute spray. Let's now look at how we establish when we should start applying ATS. Firstly, we have to mark some branches in the tree. We need to mark branches that are typical of our target for spraying, and so we can then go back and monitor them progressively. As a starting point, I suggest we should start applying ATS at 80% King's Open. On our typical marked branch, what we want to try and do is establish a system where we can keep going back to that branch and work out at what stage of flowering that is and how fast the flowers are opening. So we need to record this every few days. On the marked branch, we can move down it, recording each cluster from pink, pink, next cluster coming up, King Open, another one at King Open there. So we can class this branch to this point at about 60 to 70% King's Open, which is a good place to start our ATS applications. By recording each of the days we go out and measure the marked branch, we can see how quickly the flowering is progressing and at what point we're going to reach our 80% King's Open for starting ATS. The first part of the week we've got a very slow progression flowering. As it came along, about Friday we had an increase in temperature and the flowering sped up, and then through to a period around the following Sunday where we got to our 80% level, and we should be starting our ATS application at that point. So by monitoring, we've established when to start our ATS application. So when do we come in again with a second application? A lot of people talk about coming in every 2 or 3 days, but climate conditions can cause this to happen very quickly or very slowly. So what we need to do is establish when we're coming in again. We can do this easily by removing open petals on our marked branch after application, and then as the flowering progresses we can see when the next level of flowers open and we need to apply ATS. In summary, choose an appropriate dilute water volume for each canopy type. Second, on a monitor branch, establish when 80% Kings are open to start. And thirdly, remove petals on that monitor branch so you can monitor when the next level of flowers are open and you need to apply ATS again. By being systematic in our data recording and monitoring systems with ATS applications, we'll be able to review the results and then adjust maybe our starting point, our water volume, and how often we go back with ATS to improve our crop loading strategies for the future. Thank you.